happened. 2 of them died from what appears to be hypothermia. 7 News Detroit reporter Brett Cass telling us the mom says she tried to get help for her homeless family, but no one answered the call until it was too late.
I lost the one who made me a mother. I lost a 2-year-old. I'm dying inside. It hurt. I feel like my heart is breaking. And I have 2 more kids to live for.
It's been a long journey for Tatiana Williams with an even tougher battle ahead. She spent the last 3 months living in a van with her children.
And I regret having to sleep out there so bad. I tell them I'm sorry, but I tried to keep hotels. I tried to pay people to stay there. It wasn't working for me.
1 a.m. on Monday morning, they parked at the Hollywood Greektown Casino parking garage in below freezing temps. Overnight, the car ran out of gas, and the next day, her 9-year-old son was not breathing.
I tried to give him CPR, and I was just giving him CPR. I just kept saying, Teddy, don't leave me. Don't leave me, please.
After a friend helped take him to the hospital, her 2-year-old daughter was also found unresponsive. Both were later pronounced dead from what appears to be hypothermia.
She didn't get to live her life. She didn't get to do nothing. She lost her life because I had to sleep in the car.
In a press conference, the mayor and city leaders confirmed that Tatiana did call the city's homeless response team back in November, but nothing ever came of it.
At least as far as we've been able to determine so far, the family never called back again for service. And as far as we've been able to tell, our homeless staff never proactively reached out to say, what happened with your situation? Was it resolved?
Mayor Duggan is now calling for a review of the city's homeless services, while Tatiana is now in a shelter and her kids are with relatives.
It took my 2 kids to die for y'all to help me. It just don't work like that. It hurt losing 2 kids in one night. You know, I don't wish this on nobody. And if you can get help, please go get help. Because I don't want nobody else to go through what I'm feeling.
And the new McFall Brothers Funeral Home here in Detroit is providing funeral services for these children free of charge to the family. Now, if you are homeless or on the verge of homelessness, you can call 866-313-2520. We also have more resources listed on our website, wxyz.com. In downtown Detroit, I'm Brett Cass, 7 News Detroit.
This is an urgent message for every American.
So that's what we're talking about today. It's the case of Tatiana Williams. Manning, I have Manning to the right of me and Manning to the left of me. Manning to the right of me was here first, and then Manning to the left of me go.
You can go ahead.
Okay, Manning.
You can go ahead.
Okay. I'm gonna say this. Hey, Mr. Nisha, how you doing? I ain't been on your panel in a while.
We know, Manning.
But
we almost thought you was Jake, but go ahead.
No. But I'm gonna play the devil advocate. I probably ain't got a popular opinion, but I'm gonna say this. If she was insufficient and she couldn't take care of her kids for 3 months, okay, if the relatives didn't get the kids or didn't answer her help cry or whatever, it's other places she could have went to take those kids, and she didn't have to live in that van with those kids. She could have lived in that van by herself or whatever vehicle she was in. And the daddy is a piece of shit, cause ain't no real man gonna sit there and let their kids suffer like that in the first place. So I'm just that's all I'm gonna leave with right now. I really don't really believe her whole story, you know, cause women love to, you know, they can put them tears up real quick, them little tears for the media and all that, and have people feel sorry for them. We went through that already. We went through that with the girl that left the baby on the highway, which that was a lie. So it just gets to a point where you just can't really have sympathy for people these days like you want to, even though it's a horrible situation. But I just can't believe, in my opinion, I can't believe like some of the stuff she was saying, and I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Women,
I would say try to be a single mother first. We gotta understand mother of 4 children. We really have to look at the situation and think of ourselves as in, if you have no support whatsoever, you already have a bad person as the mother or father of your children. You got to deal with your sister and your mother homeless, you and your kids. That is a lot to take on for a single mother. And especially it seemed like no one wants to help until, you know, stuff hits the fan. So it's like we can't necessarily say all of that. And then bringing it about women, these men are creating these broken homes. You need to talk to your fellow man about creating these broken homes and not having a home that is safe for both these women and children. We also need to talk about that. We can't keep talking about what the women are doing.
Did you hear what I said about the guy though? I said he was a piece of shit father in the first place before I said anything about women.
No, I understand that, but I'm saying like the conversations going forward, we need our men to start policing other men, not policing the women.
Oh, facts.
Talk to him.
Hey, I agree with you. I agree with you on that. That's fact. I feel
So Ms. Nitra, I just want to go ahead and reiterate your point of hopefully nobody gets triggered. It already seems as if we may be going down that road, because to just assume that we already come in with the lack of understanding women already lets me know that some people may be triggered. So we have to.
Excuse me, can I say one thing before you go further? If anyone is triggered, please leave now. There's no need of bringing a hostility towards the conversation. So if you're feeling triggered, you can go ahead and exit the door, back door, front door. We got back doors, patios, walkouts. We can leave any door you need to.
You're on fucking TikTok. There's no doors.
What did he say, Kevin? You're fucking TikTokers or what?
Period.
Said you're on TikTok. There's no doors.
Oh, yes, it is, sir.
We got a mansion. That's all.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Manny.
Okay, because I agree with Manny. The story is a little iffy, and being that she apparently was there, because yes, we can focus on this father, but we can't focus on this father in this particular story because she was the one with the children. And so being that she was with the children, I find it hard that something to this magnitude happened on her watch. You know, like I just find that so cringy, and I do blame her. Unfortunately, I really do blame her, regardless of what her circumstances was this particular night that we're speaking of, or day. I do blame her because she was the one there present, and it's unfortunate that she allowed herself to stay outside and not have the sense to at least try to find a warm space, even if it was a gas station. Because just to your point, Marie, by her knowing that she has these things that she can't control, the least she could have done went to a gas station and warmed up. Like, we have to put some sense in there. But I'm not saying that it's because it is iffy as well. So I do want to be respectful to a degree and not just blame her all the way. But being that she was physically there, that is why I have to put the blame with her, because I do feel like she could have went somewhere else. And it's unfortunate the events that transpired.
You know, I think that sometimes we can be just a little bit, this is not to anybody or anything that was said, but I think sometimes we can just be too judgmental when we're not in those shoes, right? That lady appeared to be living on survival mode. Most people that live on survival mode don't make the right decisions because they're doing it out of an emotion, right? So I think that the fact that she even attempted to get help speaks volumes, and we're missing that. She seeked help and didn't receive it. So then she had to just go to the next thing. Being in survival mode, being emotional, who knows what that was for her. But we can't speak to it because we're not her, right?
Hey, Proud.
We're not her.
Proud.
Hold on.
Oh, go ahead. My bad. Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you.
I didn't want to interrupt y'all. I just wanted to come up and say, hey, Nitra, I'm back in the house.
Hey, Miss Jackie, but we having a good conversation. Don't interrupt them right quick, Miss Jackie. Please, it's going good, and we are streaming on YouTube. Sorry.
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I think that we have been so accustomed to being judgmental and not offering genuine help that when stuff like this happen, we go right into that mode. We already done ran down a scenario. We done added more to the story than we actually really know. I think we just need to sit back and watch and see what happened, because we don't know what the situation really was.
Yeah, Proud. Let me just piggyback. Oh, go ahead. Dick. Go ahead.
We don't. We
Lord have mercy. We don't know, and I really feel sorry for the outcome. I feel sorry for her losing her 2 children. I've been a single mama. I was a single mama from day one up until now, if you're gonna be completely honest. And if she was, and I'm the way I'm saying this, I don't want to make it sound like I'm putting the blame on her, because that's not intentional. But what I'm saying is, if she was in this situation for 3 months, there were other colder nights. So can you not kind of, you on mute, Nitra, you saying something to help me?
Yeah, this night it was below 9 degrees.
But what?
I'm just saying it was cold.
I know it was cold, but was it not some other real cold nights too that, like, could you not prepare for the situation as a mama?
Well, she did say within the 3 months that she had stayed with people, stayed in hotels, she didn't have no more money, and she went to the kid's father. 3 of the 4 children were one man. So she had been in shelter. So in this 3-month time frame, she tried other solutions for living quarters. She also said that her having 4 children was too much in homes that she went and stayed in.
I feel sorry. I feel bad for her. I mean, it's just
it's unfortunate. It's just a real unfortunate situation. And if she's done all of those things that Miss Nitra said, she was trying to find help.
So, Ms. Nitra, can I ask you this, being a mother, do you think her pride got in the way, being that you already stated that she tried some other avenues? Because it kind of gives me that she's tried these other avenues that she possibly could have ran back to, but something stopped her, and it's giving me pride.
No, you know what happens? I don't think pride stuck in the way. I think fear overcomes. I think that mothers don't want to lose their kids because sometimes they can't provide. And the first thing the system gonna do to you when you go 9 out of 10 and tell the government that you can't provide for your children, it's a loved one somewhere waiting to take your kids from you when they could usually just help you. So I don't think pride got in the way. I think that she felt defeated. I think that she did not have the soul help that she needed. And I think she had a deadbeat ass daddy that had 3 of those 4 children that he could have at least took 3. See, what we fell in the miss, 3 of those kids was his. She could have survived easier with 1 than she had 4. So it's easy to say, well, she should have went and stayed in a hotel lobby. She should have went into the casino. She would have done better with 1 kid surviving than 4. So I don't want people to miss that 3 of those children were one man. And I am going to play. Well, PJ got my phone. But I do want to play what that one man said after she asked him to get his children.
But Mr. Nitra, I'm gonna ask you this though: when did she figure out that he was a deadbeat? Kid 1, kid 2, or kid 3?
That is not the damn question, man.
That's irrelevant.
Because look, hear me out. Because you're talking to a woman that has 4 children and 3 of them belong to one man that never fucking hardly showed up for a game. And I had kids boom, boom, boom by him. And let me tell you what, because we be in love, because this man done sold us a dream, because one minute he taking care of us and the next minute he wants you to go home to your mama, because he did not want to step into the shoes of responsibility. So now we got this kid and we want him to be the father to his child, and then we get another kid, and then we want him to be a father to his children. Relationships will make you stay in situations longer. So I'm not going to even blame her for having 3 kids. I'd rather see her have 3 kids by one man than 4 kids by 4 different niggas. But we don't get no credit. All we get told is, well, why did you have 3 by him? Well, damn, he sold me a fucking dream.
Right on.
But Ms. Nitra,
he sold me a dream.
But Ms. Nitra, are you saying that his question is not valid though? If you are a willing participant though?
I'm not saying his question is not valid. I just gave him the answer to my best ability to his question.
Oh,
and then earlier what you said, and then
some responsibility.
And then earlier what you said, Miss Nitra, about the fear. What I'm saying is, I think that's a problem too, because she having fear of not losing the kids, even though she know that she couldn't take care of them. So I think that's a problem too. If you know you can't take care of your kids, and I mean, I don't think she really went all the way there for help. You know what I'm saying? I don't think she called every shelter that she possibly could or did everything that she possibly could for them kids. I just don't believe that, cause I know as a black woman, well, not me as a black woman, but I know y'all as black women, y'all gonna ride or die for y'all kids. Y'all gonna go that extra mile. Y'all is not gonna have people in worse situations than her, and they not gonna have them kids out there like that. They're gonna do everything they can for them kids. So so it's like
but she probably did do everything she could. She probably did do everything she could. It's just, people, when you get in desperate situations, you get desperate and you get scared. She didn't want to go and ask nobody else for help because she didn't want nobody to take her kids from her. She was stuck between a higher place and a rock. If I go ask somebody, they might help me and they might call the authorities on me. If I don't help them, something gonna happen to my kids. I don't know what to do. She was losing her mind, honey.
Hey, Nitra, can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
In the last couple of months, and this is not to bring up anything negative towards anybody whom we've tried to assist, how many times have we had people come in at the last minute because they've exhausted all that they have, all that they can, and waiting until the last minute to ask for assistance? And we've heard it and witnessed it on this app. So what if that person would have been in the same situation and we right now discussing it, we chose to not want to assist and help that person that had to do all they can, and then they was in the same situation? How would you feel then? Because we had it on the FOE platform.
And then,
once I ask them, if they don't help me, then I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna give up, and that's what people do.
Yeah, and then it's a humbling state to have to ask somebody for help. But then it's a really even more demeaning state to ask for the help. And now here you are talking, well, didn't you know he was a deadbeat baby daddy when you had the first one? So it's not fair. It's just unfortunate. And that's what I meant by we so judgmental. We so used to doing it. We're so unaccustomed to just giving the help just because.
Right.
They need it.
Hey, Nitra. I'm gonna let you go. I'll be back a little later because I'm literally pissed at it, the whole situation, because
don't leave me, bro.
No, I'm gonna leave you because I was talking to one of our FOE members who's been in the hospital for going on a year, surgery after surgery, not able to walk, work, and has been needing
Jay,
with no children, assistance out the ass, and we're judging someone who we don't know what her situation is, her circumstances, what she went through, or anything to try to worry about putting the blame on what she could have, would have, and should have done, when I'm literally been on tea time talking and discussing with someone who's going through the same shit without children in the same situation almost.
Real talk.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm a little on 10. I came up here for
this is not to throw it at y'all, but I love everybody out here. But I'm gonna holler at y'all later.
I came up here for problems.
Come back in a minute. Go ahead, Slim.
Brother, why is you trying to find a reason to make this woman at fault? Talking about why you had 3 kids if you know you couldn't take care of them. Maybe she was in the position where she could take care of them at one time. You know what I'm saying? Maybe if that nigga would have just opened up his eyes, she told the nigga, know what I'm saying? Hey, can you get them? He talking about she never told him that she never told him that he was that she was homeless. Man, brother, I ain't gonna lie to you. You didn't give a damn about them kids. That nigga didn't give a damn about them kids, because if he did, the first thing you ask is say why. Even if you don't want them, you gonna say why. Even me, I'm gonna be like, shit, why you saying come get him now? And she would have told him you can miss me with the shit. She didn't tell him that he was that she was homeless. Then, you know what I'm saying, to make all these extra ass excuses, know what I'm saying, that. Bro, look at that woman. Do that woman look like a woman that's just in her right state of mind? That lady look like she been through some shit.
Slim guy, I'm gonna tell you this, Slim guy. I know you came up here hot, and I just threw that out there because we having a discussion. The first thing I said he a piece of shit ass dude. That was, I already called him out on here. Now we trying to dissect the other situation. We know he was a piece of shit. Like, we ain't got to keep reiterating it. Like, you a piece of shit if you let your kids out there and you have your kids out there like that.
Yeah, but you did.
In the way that you trying to dissect it, bro. In the way that you.
Hold on,
I'm sorry.
I was behind him, so because you tried to clear Manny, but you got to get this Manny too. Because my point in standing with him is that it happened on her watch. Yes, we've already cleared the man. He's out the way.
You can't clear the man. Ain't no such thing as clearing the man.
Jay, because y'all got
hold on, Miss J. Push, because we do after these two, we got to hear from Moonlight and then Miss Adrena up here. But y'all, this is a good conversation. Tap the screen. Let's get up to 200K. Go ahead.
Because I followed up his point
Jay.
with what we have now, which is it happened on her watch. That's why it's so important that she gets all the focus, because it was her watch. It's only we could say about the man, is he a piece of shit? That's it. This happened on her watch.
But how do you clear the father? And then we gonna hear. We got to. This is good to me. Go ahead, Moonlight. Let's hear from you. Because how do you clear a father?
He didn't say y'all ain't understanding what he's saying. Y'all ain't understanding what he's saying.
Hold on, man.
I don't think they clearing the father though, y'all. I really don't. Like they're not clearing the father. They just
they said we can't blame the father.
We can only say that about the father. He wasn't there, so we know he's a piece of shit. That's the only thing. That's the father we can go with him.
Him too. He's a.
We sure can blame him because she asked him for help. We sure can blame him because she asked him for help.
Manny, let me tell you this, because what you said was, let me show you how most men think. He said was, you didn't know that he was a piece of shit with the first one. Let me tell you why. This man didn't know that he was not capable of showing provision and taking care of those kids before he laid down 3 more times to have no more kids by. So why we blaming the one parent when it's two parents?
Listen, I misspoke. Okay, Jay, I give you that. I did misspeak because that was irrelevant to the topic, to the conversation.
Oh, okay.
But when D-Man said we cleared the father, I mean, what he meant by that, we already know he's a piece of shit. That's a father. We can go with him because he wasn't in the situation. He wasn't there. He wasn't there.
Let me ask you this, man.
Hold on.
Hold on, y'all, because we gotta let Moonlight been up here for about 25 minutes, y'all. Let's hear from Moonlight. Then we'll rotate the panel. Y'all can come on back in. I'm rotating the panel a little bit too, y'all. So give me a little bit. Go ahead, Moonlight.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Miss Nitra. I've been following you for a good little minute now, and I would like to first apologize to the lady. I was actually getting dressed for work, guys. I'm actually in the store now. To the lady who said, why did she keep having more kids? That was a little offensive to me. But I would like to apologize because you do have your own opinion. So I'm gonna start there first. But in a sense, I would just like to say, like, I actually know someone that's actually in this same situation right now that actually let her kids stay from house to house to house to house. And she sleeps in her car because she's so in fear of going to get help. Exactly what I'm going to pick it back off everything everyone else is saying. She's so in fear to go get help because she don't want her kids in the system. So I agree with a lot of stuff that has been said and a lot of stuff that hasn't been, I don't agree with a lot of stuff that's been said because in a sense, when you can't determine or what's the word I'm looking for? You just never know until you put in that situation. Because most parents, she is out here trying to do her best. And like she said, she don't care if she has to sleep in the car with her kids. Before she let her kids go in the system, she would sleep in the car with her kids. And I respect her even more for that because in a sense, she go get help from the system. And okay, what if she in a situation where she can't get right? And now her kids gone forever. Like it ain't no way of her getting her kids back. I have watched people go through this to the fact that they went to the system for help. Now their kids are signed over like to other people that like they can't even reach out to like their kids, even if they wanted to. So it's very understandable. It's totally understandable on every perspective. But I will say this. With everything that's been said within the evidence that you have put up, Miss Nitra, I feel like she did do her best within trying to get help.
Hello?
Did something happen?
Oh, I thought it was me. Thought it was me.
So while we try to wait on her, I was gonna say
keep on harping on that when they saying her best, meaning her best, the best that she could with her situation.
With her
Not saying
mentality,
she did
correct.
the best, she did her best. The lady looked like she going through some shit. So the only thing, nobody would take them damn kids. They wouldn't take her. She said she gonna keep them with her.
Exactly, because like I said, I know someone that actually. Go ahead, Miss Nietzsche. I'm sorry.
Let me say this. So if the city, the governor can make the department or the people that she went to be accountable, why the father can't be accountable? Them his kids. When she said that I need help, these kids need somewhere to stay, he should have took them. And because he didn't, he should be held up too.
I really don't think nobody is clearing the fathers. Like at the end of the day, they both parents have some blame. That's just the bottom line to it. The person or the people we should be feeling sorry for is the kids, because like Slim just said, that might have been her best, but was her best good enough to keep the kids alive?
And the other thing is, you could tell she didn't have a support system because her mama, her grandmama, and her sister was in that car too.
Yeah, and you could tell that's a whole messed up situation.
I don't know. I know everybody is. I know everybody ain't mean. Okay, that's obvious or whatever. But like I said, me being a single mom, and I have had to go through some shit. But at the end of the day, if it looks like it's gonna be life threatening for my kids, then at the end of the day,
right? Exactly.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna give my children to somebody who can keep them alive.
Let me ask y'all a question though.
It's 2025. Who I was talking about, she actually had help. One of her kids' father actually, quote unquote help. But guess what they did? They turned their back on her for some fucking food stamps. Excuse me, Miss Nisha. They turned their back on her because they got into it with her one time that she didn't give them a food stamp card. So you got to look at all of that. Like they called DPATs on this girl and everything. She was actually a teacher at a school. They got her fired, all type of stuff. So in a sense, she like, okay, well, they doing all this. At the end of the day, I'm not giving them my kids and I'm not letting my kids go in the system. If I have to sleep in the car with them, that's what I'm going to do before I give my kids up.
Let's be real. We all know that we got people out here that'll take these kids and they won't have them kids' best interest in their heart. They just want the funds that's coming from the government.
Exactly.
So for the people to say, oh, when it comes to my kids, they got to go in the system, I do that. Yeah, you might be doing just as much harm putting your kids in the system, because I know so many kids that go through the system that done been R word, that done been A word. So the system ain't always the way to go. So that mama probably fears the worst for her children. So therefore, nobody up here can put blame and place blame on anybody without blaming both parents. Because in the end of the day, just because those children was with their mother and because their mother had to sacrifice and do the shit the father wouldn't do, still does not negate the father's responsibility to those children. They're still his fucking kids.
Let me ask this. Do they have emergency services where you could just drop the churn off somewhere?
Who wants to do that? That's
just asking the question.
So I want to play another video that I got in, because some people have asked that we play the video. So I want to play the video of the father, because we are talking about the father, and then I'm gonna play the one that Glam just sent me that somebody sent. So this is the father speaking out about the children. Y'all tap the screen if y'all don't mind, because Kevin don't believe in listening.
She says she reached out to Curry, who's the father of 3 of her children.
I asked him, I said, can you get your kids for me? I said, I need help. You know I'm homeless. I kept a room this long. I couldn't keep it no more.
They were homeless. Had Tatiana ever reached out asking to?
No, she did not. All she said was, can I get them? Can I get them? Just to get them, and can I get them? Because you're homeless, that's 2 different things.
She said she had been homeless for 3 months.
See, that's what I saw, about 3 months. But she ain't never said nothing to me.
So hear me out. He just identified that he saw 3 months of her being homeless. Did y'all just catch that? Yep. He nodded and agreed. He knew she was homeless with 3 of his children. And his excuse was I getting them just to be getting them, or what I'm getting them for? Bitch ass nigga, she homeless. with 3 of your kids. He said that in 4K. So we don't want to put no blame on him. When he said he saw her, he also said the day he found out his children was deceased, he was at the gym. So you got a membership, probably. Now let me play it back and let's hear. Y'all got to listen. You got to listen.
Curry, who's the father of 3 of her children.
This is sad.
I asked him, I said, can you get your kids for me? I said, I need help. You know I'm homeless. I done kept a room this long. I couldn't keep it no more.
They were homeless. Had Tatiana ever reached out asking to?
No, she did not. All she said was, can I get them? Can I get them? Just to get them, and can I get them? Because you're homeless, that's 2 different things.
She said she had been homeless for 3 months.
Say, that's what I saw about 3 months, but she ain't never said nothing to me. Nothing. So all them other side
He confirmed it,
stories,
probably.
you can cut all that. No, she did not.
He confirming it sound like.
Curry, who lives in Novi, says Williams never specified why she wanted to drop their kids off to him.
She just asked, can I get them for a couple of days? But I told her I'm working and all that, and I'm out here. We're not close to each other, so I couldn't. But she knows all my family is right around the corner from her.
Did she reach out to any of your family?
No, she did not. And she knows she could have, like we always used to do.
He says the last time he helped his children was a month or 2 ago, and that they typically FaceTime, moments he will miss. And there's a police investigation into this. What is it you would like to see come of this? Obviously, nothing's going to bring back your 9-year-old and your 2-year-old.
You got mad at me. Can't get them back, so it's whatever.
She says she reached out to Curry, who's the father.
So after listening to it now, he might have said, I saw that she was homeless for 3 months. That's what they said.
He still don't miss nothing, Miss Nidra, because at the end of the day, you didn't miss them when they was here. How now you gonna miss them now that they're gone? Make it make sense, because if you haven't seen them in that long,
it's a wake-up call.
Exactly, because obviously you wasn't a part of them.
He said it's whatever. Did y'all hear that mean words?
What is it that the mama had to specify for me to tell you I need you to get your keys?
Exactly.
What the hell do I have to specify?
If I say I need help, that didn't trigger you to say, if you so worried, why you didn't say why? What's going on with you? You wasn't concerned.
Because
you
didn't care in the beginning. That's
Even
why.
if you ain't want him, even if it was me and I like say he was free and he would have it, I swear I'd have sounded like Ike Turner, goddamn me. What the hell I'm gonna do with 3 more kids? But I'm gonna take them though, shit. Cause I know it's no way you can't tell me that this woman ain't reach out and all that time and say, hey, I'm homeless. He talking about some, she never said it. Man, that ain't no way possible. She ain't gonna say it. I know a woman, they gonna tell you straight up. When you reach to the father and you trying to get them kids up, you gonna say, hey, look, I can't take care of them no more. Like, y'all gonna get to explaining, especially if you believe this nigga love his children.
I'm sleeping in the car with my kids. Like,
right, and I believe he
y'all
knew
don't
she
think
was.
she's
I believe it because he said he FaceTime, and her words were, he knew we were homeless. I think he knew that they were homeless, and I think
if he was FaceTiming them, he had to know that they were homeless.
Yeah, I knew.
Right,
I believe he knew too.
And so that makes him just as responsible.
He did know.
So that makes him just as responsible, because if they're gonna hold the city accountable for not getting back in contact with her when she tried to get help from them, then they're gonna have to hold him accountable for not taking his children.
And then here's another thing that the mothers need to know, and hear me out. Mothers, give your kids up. I'm not gonna lie. If you can't take care of your children, this is when I tell mothers, unless he just a badass dad, deadbeat ass daddy, let that man have them kids. Take that sole responsibility. It doesn't make you less of a mother because you let the kids go stay with the father. He is the father. Go get yourself together. I promise you, in a few months, them men are going to be tired, running around, going to the school. They want to be in activities, lunch money, girlfriends, spend the night at the house. They're going to get tired of that. When you get yourself together and you start asking for your kids back, they're going to be ready to get them kids back. Slim every day. And I know Slim love his little girl. But I know when that mother walked through the house in the evening, Slim's so relieved to like, oh, God, because she won't go to sleep during the day.
Oh, yeah, that's what he was saying. He was saying it yesterday. You saying
But
straight
see, that's
back.
the thing. That's the thing with it, Miss Nidra. Like even with the girl that I know that's actually in her situation, she tried that, and guess what? Tom, she didn't give them food stamps because she said that she clearly stated she was holding the food stamps because she knew that her son's birthday was coming up, and she didn't want to give them. She didn't give them food stamps that first time.
Oh, girl, your service is nervous.
Working at the teacher.
Oh, girl.
Nah, for real, man, Cass. She should have put him on his doorstep and burnt off.
I think we all in agreement that they both parents is to blame.
So I wanna.
I think I got a little empathy for the woman. Know what I'm saying? That lady looked like she was.
I mean, I have a whole lot of
through
empathy. I mean, you definitely feel sorry.
She
for
wrong
her.
though, because I mean, you can always, where there's a will, there's a way. You know what I'm saying?
Girl.
She a woman, goddamn you. I mean, she Hey,
But
man.
with that many children, Slim, is it easy to say? Because I think I look at it on the part of we feel like women hold our power because we're women and we got something between our legs. Y'all know that, hey, after dark, catch us next week, me and Slim, after dark, 7 o'clock Central Standard Time, every Wednesday night, walking like I talk it. So, but let's give a little before dark. People think women's under yonder is the power. It is power. Hear me out. But it ain't shit compared to a dead ass man. A deadbeat ass father don't give a damn because he feel like they come a dime a dozen. So whenever we put these type of titles on that we can get it by any means necessary, when you got baggage coming with it, it's never by any means necessary to that degree. It's to a whole nother degree. We put meat in our purse. We doing things like we next door at the neighbor's house borrowing sugar. You know what I'm saying? We catching rides to the grocery store. It's not the last thing we think about is the ussy pain. That's me as a woman. I can't lay down comfortably with my legs in the air and my kids ain't got nothing to eat. That's just me as a mother. I never could do it.
I ain't gonna lie to you. She could have put it on the market. I know that's a hard thing to think of, though. That's a hard thing to think of, but
Come on now,
goddamn,
Slim, let's think about it. She already sleeping in the car, so that thing hot boxing. Ain't nobody finna pay for that.
Okay, so I want
to. In
somebody said I would have.
In any of these clips, how she said where was she at? Like, was she in were the adults in the vehicle or not in the vehicle?
They was in the vehicle too.
They were in the vehicle with her. Everybody was in there. She was in there too.
Somebody said, forget about pig leg.
So I just want to say this. So he also stated that she could have taken the children to his family.
Why didn't he contact his family?
Why he couldn't take his kids to his family?
That's what I'm saying. Here's my thing on it.
So she been going through that shit longer than 3 months. Y'all do know that, right?
Right. She had to have been going through it longer than this. But
let's let Adrena say something, y'all. Let's hear from Adrena. Adrena, you know you up here?
Hey, y'all. Hey. Yeah, can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'm not gonna stay up here long because I don't have a voice. That's why I couldn't interject. But I'm speaking as far as the system because I don't have children. So I don't feel like I'm capable of being able to give an opinion on what this mother should or should not have done with her children. But as far as the system, because I've seen it so many times where their children have either been taken from them because they were in bad situations. And when it's multiple children and they're in the system, most of the time, they don't keep those kids together. So a lot of times, if they can find a place for them kids to go, they'll do it as such. Some families won't keep the siblings together because it's too many. So I was looking at it with her doing what she did. She was probably afraid that her kids would be separated and it's hard for them to get their children back because the system make them do so much in order to get their kids back because they did fall on hard times. I would never blame a mother at this point, being as though I don't have kids. It's hard for me to blame the mother because she had the child. I think that she's already receiving the blame because her kids are no longer here. So she's already suffering. And I would think that it would be a shame if they decide to charge this mother who was in desperate need and doing what she needs to do to keep her kids together, to charge her when she's already charging herself because they're gone.
Her guilt gonna tell.
Got no voice.
Don't
forget about the toddy. Make that toddy. I'll text you the recipe. Make that toddy.
Hey,
I got my prescriptions and everything. I'm not doing that onion shit, but I got the prescriptions.
I'm just gonna
later.
Miss Nietzsche, I'm just gonna say this and I'm gone. I'm gonna say this right here. I thank you for putting me up here, and it was a good conversation. And it's sad, the whole situation sad. I'm just gonna say this right here. It's not like I'm not trying to take sides to either one, but we can go. After I heard that interview with the father, whatever, yeah, like I'm still with that. He's still the piece of shit in my eyes. He a deadbeat. He all that, we could stomp on him for days for not being there. But if the children in her custody, and I'm gonna say this too. I don't believe with my heart that she did everything she possibly could to take care of them kids the way they should have been taken care of. She probably did what she thought that she could do, but it's a lot of factors that plays in. I don't believe that she did everything she possibly could for them kids.
Why not?
But see, you contradicting.
Go ahead.
You go.
Go ahead.
You can't say she did everything that she could do. You can't say that and then say, but I don't think that she did. I think she did what she could do. You can't. She did what she could do.
Cause I'm on the outside.
But hear me out, because it's contradicting to me. Because if that woman did what she could do as a mother, then you can't think that she exhausted her sources.
Exactly.
She exhausted her sources, not the next man.
That's what I mean. Yeah, that's what I mean by that, Miss. Cause we on the outside looking in. We ain't none of us in her shoes, none of that. So what she could do, what she could possibly do, she probably could. But if we on the outside looking in, to me, I don't think she could do everything that she had options to do, because we on the outside looking in. We're not in her shoes at the situation. We looking at it from a whole different angles. We talking about shelters. Like, I just looked up how many Detroit shelters, and it's like about 40 of them. I don't believe she went to all 40 of them. That's what I'm trying to say.
She did, but if she don't have the help or the assistance, she did all that she knew to do.
Exactly.
She did what she knew she could do. It might not have been everything she could have, but she did all that she knew that she could do.
And you know that shelters are full, right? Most shelters can't even take one person in, let alone 5 people.
And
So she probably did do everything she possibly could do, Manny. So that's what we got to do. We got to stop treading and doing that. We got to stop doing that, because, like you said, we are not in her shoes. We can't say that she didn't do everything that she could do. When she did the right thing by going to the goddamn father, that's the most important thing. Most important thing she did was going to the father.
Can I chime in really quick? I don't have anything to say about the discussion as of right now. I just came up to say, hey, y'all, please tap the screen. Okay, we are asking, we are having a discussion. It's a really good discussion. It's unfortunate that it is a sad situation, but while we are having the discussion, please tap the screen, power tap. Let's get up to 250. And I'm gonna drop down because there's a lot of people in the queue, guys. So if you are finished with what you have to say, you're willing to just switch it out, let someone else have a voice.
Thank you to the mods. Period. Pooh. Let's get it started. Next caller.
I mean, we I just wanted to say one thing, because I know that we were talking about earlier that, we don't think that she did enough on it, but that's our problem nowadays. We're always ready to judge somebody without even hearing the full story. We say, oh, well, the man, she could have called him. Well, she did. He didn't give a shit. She called everybody. They didn't give a shit. And we're still sitting back saying she could have done more. But what if she only did what she knew to be able to do? Y'all act like she had all this assistance and all this help around her, and she was just sitting there staring in space. I mean, at the end of the day, it's not like she left her kids in the car and she went and got warm somewhere. She was in the car with them. Her mother and her sister were in the car with them. That's the family dynamic. Y'all are acting like they have all this mindset of, oh, what can we do? How can we get out of this? Obviously, none of them knew how to get out of it. But turning to the father, the issue that I have is when we're not blaming the father for the same amount that we're blaming for the mother. Yes, she had a responsibility to keep them safe. She had a responsibility to keep them out of the cold. She had a responsibility to keep them fed. You're absolutely right. But we got to stop putting everything on one person and then saying, well, you knew he was a deadbeat, so that was your fault. You should have done something else. You should have done this. You should have done that. We're always so quick to point to everybody, but instead of encouraging both parents, both families being involved and taking care of kids who cannot take care of themselves, that's what we need to start doing. But that man, he deserves everything he gets too, because he ain't great just because she chose to make a baby with him. He had every right to step up and say, I'm going to take these kids. You go get yourself together. I'm going to give these kids to my family for right now. You go do what you need to do. But it infuriates me that we tell the mama, well, oh, well, you should have done better. Oh, well, you should have chose better. Oh, well, you should have sold your ass. Oh, well, you should have done this. That's the reason why people don't turn to nobody.
And for the ladies in the comments, like, keep saying like she ain't exhaust nothing. Look, it's easy to judge when your support system, when your community is stacked with support. So just because you would never, that your family is that support for you and you would never experience this, it's easy. It's easy to judge the next person. But let's say that your support system ran out on you. Your ass might be the next topic. So please be careful how we judge and be prejudiced about other people's situation, because them tables do turn, honey.
I'm telling you. Yes, this is good to me. Thank y'all. If y'all don't mind tapping the screen, helping the host reach her live goal, gifting the panel, make sure nobody is sitting up here on eggshells. Don't leave the room. We are rotating the boxes, but we want your conversation. We are streaming on YouTube. If you want to come back later and watch this video, it will be at Miss Nitra on YouTube. So you can go back and look at this video on YouTube. If you are not speaking, we do ask that you keep your mics on mute and just join in on the conversation.
Hey, Miss Nitra, can I just say one thing? And I got to drop down and go get my baby out of therapy.
Yes,
ma'am.
I
wanted to touch base on what the guy said in the last box. So I work in DHR, which means I work with people who get their children snatched away from them. First off, the government will help you quicker snatching your kids away. They will snatch your kids away quicker than they will help you get on your feet to do for your own kids. Keep it in mind when we snatch, not we, because I'm not there no more, but when we was having to go out and take people, kids, go to the hospital, place them. The system for one is overcrowded. If you have a child who is 14-year-old girl, 2-year-old boy, they are split. They are split due to their gender and their age. So now your kids not only have you, but they also don't have their siblings as well. Then the person who the system is putting them with, you don't know if that person's going to treat your child right or molest your child, beat your child, mistreat you. You don't know what's going to happen at all, none whatsoever. So to say that, oh, she should have just gave them up, oh, it's so many, and this, that, and the third, your children are most safe with you in a bad situation they are with the system. We don't have help in the system. Say that, oh, the shelter, it's 40 shelters. Shelters are overcrowded. Shelters are over fucking, excuse my French. Shelters are overcrowded. So that's all I want to say, because he was touching base on stuff he clearly knew nothing about.
It'd be like a first come, first serve. They be having a race to get into the motherfuckers.
Literally, like you gotta be there about 2 o'clock. You get there at 2 o'clock, it's 500 in that line. Like you speaking on
And a
stuff
lot
you
of
didn't
shit
know
go
nothing
on in them
about.
shelters that you don't even understand. Like people be getting, it's not safe in the shelter. A lot of people get touched in shelters.
It's not safe in the system. If your child get put in DHR system, I kid you not, right hand up to God, your child are more safer with you sleeping in a car than to check on every individual child we have in the system. Yes, we take them out of your home because you're unfit. Then we also go throw them in a hotel room with 20 more kids because we ain't got nowhere to put them.
Right.
We gonna take
So
them to
listen.
group home with 50 kids because we ain't got nowhere to put them.
So a video just came up. My phone shut down because, of course, it wasn't charged. But she is at home on a couch giving a video, and I have not heard this video. So I would like to listen to this video before we go to the next call, if it's okay. Because in this video, she said I made one mistake and I turned it off.
The 29-year-old mother of the 2 kids that likely froze to death Monday in the parking structure of the Hollywood casino.
Maybe I asked the wrong people for help. But that was the only thing I did wrong.
Tatiana, remembering how many times she reached out for a place to live, she asked the father of the 2 kids that died.
He had an excuse every time he's working. They can't come where he's living. He live with a female, and the parents and them don't want kids there or something.
She also asked the city of Detroit for help.
I reached out in November. I reached out before that. I've been on a cab list for a long time. And every time I call and ask if they have a bed, they say they don't have family beds.
So the 7 of them had been sleeping in their 2002 Town and Country van since November. But the kids had everything else.
They ate every day, all day. Goodies, food. They didn't want for nothing. Every day they went to school. I have a mistake.
And the kid's grandmother run out of gas.
I have no idea what happened. I have no idea.
Did you fall asleep?
Yes.
And then when you woke,
only night I fell asleep. I usually be woke.
And when you woke up, what happened?
My grandson wasn't moving.
The GoFundMe account has been set up to help the family.
That's one of the reasons we did set the GoFundMe up, so she will be able to have housing for herself and the children, her other remaining children.
We'll put a link to the GoFundMe account on our website, fox2detroit.com.
That's all I wanted to do was sleep somewhere safe.
In Detroit, Charlie Langton, Fox
2. Okay, so Miss Nisha, who else they sitting on their couch now? Who else they in?
I guess the bright lady, a family relative, because the mother was living with her in the van. The mother was living with her in the van. But now, of course, that's what I said earlier. Now to be all type of people saying, "Girl, you could have came and stayed here."
She just put it on thing.
You know what I'm saying? Now everybody gonna have a place for it. Could have come and stayed.
He don't like nobody. He said, "I don't want to do all that stuff with the wings and the dipper. Let's go. Mara, grandma, and Drew. That's it."
So, Miss Nisha, I wanted to just say this real quick because I know y'all have to rotate because y'all got a lot of people down here in the request box. I just wanted to say that I agree with you. Sometimes as a mother, if you try everything that you can do, go ahead and give those kids up. Now, I understand what the other lady was saying about DHR, CPS, and how the kids get mistreated and all of this stuff in the system. I don't know how y'all system work, but like in Alabama, when CPS is called on you, they would give you like resources. They give you resources to help you keep your kids. They don't just snatch them away. No. I'm telling you, in certain states, I'm telling you, in my state, CPS will give you resources to help you keep your child before they just drag them out of your house. That's even like, for example, even when my husband he got full custody of the kids, they gave his baby mama a year and a half to get her shit together before they gave us permanent custody. They will try their best to give you resources. If you need housing, if you need food assistance, if you need any type of assistance, my CPS in my state, they help you before they.
It just depends on the location. Because hear me out, my niece just had a recent case, and I can say it because she's doing good now because she had to move to a different location. So we're in Texas. But Texas will not take your children, your mama and your sister, your mama's sisters, and everybody get on a Zoom call, and you got all these different people assigned to listen to you, and you talk about, you know, family love, she has support, all this, but still as a parent, they expect certain things. So my niece changed locations and went up to the Dallas area. She was in a hotel for 1 week, her requirements. To be in the hotel for 1 week and either go to a shelter for 30 days or live with someone. She now has a 3-bedroom. This loved one, because in 30 days, my niece now has a 3-bedroom, 2-bath apartment in Dallas. Because she had to get out of the small country town to go get the real resources and help. So it just depends on the location. Some locations just sit and talk to you, and then in 2 weeks to 6 weeks, your case is closed. They just torment you for 2 to 6 weeks up here, and then your case is closed.
That's what I said, Miss. So different states will help you. But my thing is, y'all keep screaming that the kids were safer with this lady, but those kids are gone now. They're gone.
You gotta remember,
like they
when
would
you in the
never
thick of
see
a
a
situation,
high
though,
school graduation. They would never see a college graduation if they want to go to college. They would never be able to drive a car. They would never get a driver license. Like they are.
When I found out my niece went and stayed in a hotel for a week, I was devastated. I have a 4-bedroom, 2-bath home. Me and Curtis, PJ. I was devastated. Why she didn't reach out to me? She had her own excuse of, Nanny, I'm ready to be a grown woman. I'm ready to do my own thing. But I was devastated. So she went up there and she went with one of my mama's sisters after the week in the hotel. But just that week in the hotel, I'm like, you ain't got to stay in no hotel. But the requirements to have her own, she had to. So it's a lot of things that a lot of these places won't give if you have a whole bunch of children. And I say a whole bunch. Sometimes after 2 children, you're not going to get the same resources that you would with 1 or 2 kids. It's more children because there's more money.
The one thing that I think a lot of people forgetting, like right now,
Ty, you come on.
None of y'all are in the situation right now. Y'all don't understand how long, what all led up to this situation. So you don't feel the amount of pressure. You're not going through the same amount of emotions. We know from outside looking in what she did and what happened. But when you in the midst of that shit, a lot of y'all gonna fumble. A lot of y'all might have fumbled too. Made crazy, irrational moves. If you knew people that was in the system in that town, maybe, know what I'm saying? Like you know the family don't fuck with you like that. Know what I'm saying? Not to mention, she had been in a hotel room for 3 months, and they was living pillar to post with certain people, and they kept putting out because they said she had too many kids. Just imagine when you feeling like everybody done gave up on you, and the only thing you got, the only people that love you is these little kids in this car, and the only one that you know that truly love them is you. You're not gonna make the most sensible decision. You're gonna probably make a fucked up one and be like, look, I know that they okay if they with me. Now it is true enough. You know what I mean? Then you gotta also remember how that temperature shit worked. It probably didn't start out that night below 9 degrees. It probably started out as something manageable that night. And in the middle of the night, it fell below 9. Kids caught hypothermia, and everybody in the car knocked out. It don't always go the way that y'all think.
I'm gonna put up some of the things. I do want to put up some of the things that some of the people on Facebook had to say. And you all can read the messages here. I'll be going through the screen as we continue to talk. But some of these comments I really, really appreciate it because it lets you know that everybody isn't against her. And this is why I want to start a petition, because I feel her words. Even the grandmothers, you can look at the grandmother and tell some type of hardship is going on. Go ahead, Phenomenal.
I was listening, and to listen to some of these comments, it's almost like it's not even, I'm trying to use the right word because this is what we look at. A mother can spin her wheels. A mother can run herself down to piss poor nothing, tired, frustrated, and everything else, and still try to be the best mother she can. That father had a roof over his head. If my kids can't come where I'm at, while my baby mama having hardship, that woman ain't for you, and that family you was with wasn't for you neither, because these are his kids. Just like with that woman, we take our kids wherever we go. We're a package deal. That's how he should have been. For him to know there's no way for her to be homeless for 3 months, he can say that he wasn't aware. If you check on your kids on a regular, even if you checked on them once a month, within that 3 months, you should have known what was going on with your children. So to make an excuse and say that you didn't know in 3 months that she was homeless and going through what she was going through, and you didn't offer to help, you didn't attempt to help or try to help, you at fault. She did what any other mother would do, kept her kids with her. I'm pretty sure they weren't naked in the car. So like Slim said, the temperatures probably dropped extremely low while they were already asleep. Kids can't tolerate what a human body that has more weight and all that on it. So that's
Right.
what happened. And then these programs, I'm in Texas with Miss Nitra. There is so many stipulations to the shelters. I work with juveniles, and that's between the ages of 10 to 19, some 18, just depending in the program that I work with. When I tell you the depths of some of the kids that was on my caseload, trying to get them in places when they were 18 and still on probation. Some of them had juvenile probation and adult probation, and trying to find them homes or find them somewhere to go stay when they got kicked out of their homes, and checking into all these shelters and all that. There are so many stipulations that you have to go through to get in. And when you got kids and a mother with kids, sometimes it's extra because some of them don't even accept women with children.
Wow.
And then women with children of certain ages. So there are so many stipulations that she probably faced with trying to, and you have these regulars that go to these shelters, they immune to it. They know what time they gotta be there. They gonna show up, they gonna be there, and you got a whole line at this certain time of check-in that goes from the door that leads all the way back to the streets. And they only can take so many in every day. So there are so many different stipulations. Then the program require you to stay in a hotel or stay in a shelter for a certain amount of time until they can help you. Housing, emergency housing, and all that kind of stuff. So there are so many different things that, and her kids passed away with her, still having them in custody with her. What else more can you ask for? Because would I rather my kids be with me and then give them up and put them in the system where I seen and I know that's been documented what happens in these foster care systems with CPS when these people are getting these kids just for a check. You inflict more trauma and more hurt on your kids that's lifelong than you trying to protect and take care of your kids and the accident happened. Because that was an accident, it wasn't intentional.
Right. This is good to me, y'all. Tap the screen. We should be at 300K right now. If y'all don't mind, help the host reach the live goal. Gift the panel It is on Silent Angel. Then we have Angela, then Van Life. Yeah, I'm not dropping anybody right now, so I guess y'all are dropping. But if you'll just be patient, it's a good conversation. Everybody is engaging, so just be patient. We'll get to your box in just a little bit. You're welcome to come up to the platform. Go ahead, Silent.
Hi, Nate. Hi, Miss Nitra. What's going on? I'm going to be devil's advocate. Y'all might not like what I got to say.
No, say what you want to say.
I'm going to say this.
Say what you want to say.
They both look like they were two nuggets missing out of a four-piece. Okay, for one thing. I don't think he wanted no kids. He didn't care. And for her mother to be homeless too, I think they're just used to living like that. You know, some people could get set in their ways and get used to living like that, but I don't care. I will not have my kids. I will just have to sacrifice and pray and give my children up. But they would not be 7 people living in a whatever year van that was saying that's a good mother. No, you're not. Let's keep it real. You're not good if you got your kid. And they going to school every day. That's a lie. Where they washing up at? And she has to have an address if she's getting food stamps. So what address was she using? The state ain't gonna give you, huh?
It's easy to be. You could actually be homeless and still take a bath.
You could
go to a truck stop. You can go to a truck stop, take a bath. So these kids,
isn't it 5 children?
It was 4 kids.
Oh, it was 4 kids total. The mother and the sister.
So you can go to the YMCA and take a bath, and they give you vouchers.
Do you think she had sense enough to do that though?
If she did or didn't, her kids. Hold on. I'm sorry.
It's my turn to talk. So, like someone said in the comments, so it's better to have the 2 kids unalive because she wanted to keep them with her.
She didn't. That's
nobody said that. I don't think nobody in here
said that. I agree with them. That don't make no sense.
No, I'm saying nobody in here, everybody that's even empathizing with the mother, none of us are saying that like that was the best shit in the world to do. But you can.
I don't believe that.
You can make speculations and make.
I know who wasn't homeless.
That's what the father, because we only hearing one side of the story right now.
The father wasn't homeless. I know that. The father was at the gym when he found out that his kids passed away.
It doesn't matter.
The father wasn't homeless.
It doesn't matter if she was homeless once, twice, or 3 times. The point is, you don't know how many times people can fall. Hold on, let me close my thing. You don't know how many times people can fall on the downshift, on the down part of life. Everybody wants to predict what a person should or should not do until you walk in that shoes.
And hopefully I never
Hold on. You said a little, and then I'm just going to say my piece, and then I'll be quiet. You say that she cannot take a bath or take a shower. It's impossible. If you look on my page, I do van life. I have where I can take a bath. Until then, I can go to the gym. I can go to the YMCA. They allow you free membership. And if her children went to school like they said she did, and if the kids had an odor or smelled, what they would have did, the teachers would have reported it because they're mandated reporters.
I know.
So therefore, I'm not going to say this lady did not do her job. She did her best. Her best is doing her best. What is your best? That's
her best wasn't good enough, evidently.
Is your best good enough?
My kids are grown.
I was trying to reply to a comment. Wait a minute. Somebody just said there are content creators on Messy Talk that move from Shoot, let me comment back. Somebody said, Lakeisha, there are TikTok creators on Messy Talk that move place to place. We've seen it. I was finna say, talk, but go ahead.
Because you want to make sure you got to say.
Well, Miss Nitra, I'm going to say this because you never said nothing, but I had to ask, I had text Miss Nitra something.
Girl.
But by the time she was able to get to the text, I was straight. No. But that's what I needed. You know what I'm saying? So I've been in them shoes as far as not homeless though, but I'm somewhere I don't want to be, but I'm safe.
But you take care, and you have grown kids. But you have grown kids, and you asking for help.
No, I didn't ask for money. See, that's what I'm saying. That everybody doesn't get up here and ask for, and it don't matter if you have kids, you get money every month, don't you?
No, you don't get money. You can get food stamps. You don't get money every month because you got.
If you don't work, you get money. In my state, you do.
What state you in?
My state.
So because listen, so what happens if, and God forbid, I don't never ever get to keep my own? Then we got to hear from Leanne. No.
Yeah.
So because I'm a grown up now, what happens if I ever have to fall back on my children and stay with my children? Would I not be as comfortable? Hell yeah. I wouldn't feel like I was in a shameful situation. Whatever would lead me there, I will be comfortable there because those are my children. And if they felt it, because they ain't gonna let their mama go out here and struggle. I just know, you know what I'm saying? But if I had to go and live with any of my children, I would be comfortable. I would be very comfortable because that's just the type of bond we have. Do I want to? Hell no. But I love my kids can come live. I'm the mother, and forgive me because life is hard. And it's hard just because they're grown adults. If they fall at rock bottom, I want my children to know that they can always come live here. I would rather see them live here and we work together to see what we need to do to make you make it than they turn to drugs in the streets and become is on their shoulder, because this life is hard for us that got shelter. It's hard. Like to be able to
say it again.
Meat, eggs, bread, everything, no matter where you are in life, it's hard. So I never ever close the door to opportunity for my kids to come back and have a place to lay their fucking head. I tell mine, don't you ever. When I found out my baby boy, like his music is true to him. But when he went off to school to go get his welder's degree, he didn't tell me and Curtis everything. When we found out that it was a time where he slept in his car because he felt like because of my words.
Yeah, man.
Me telling him that real men don't live with their mothers forever. So when he got off to school to get his welder's degree, it was a time where he slept in his car. And when I asked him why, he said, Mama, you said men. In order for me to be a man, I got to grow up and take care of myself.
Right?
That did not mean go sleep
that
in your
man
car.
Don't ask me for bill money. I didn't say that.
Baby, look here. But I understood what the man in him wanted to be. And so I had to respect that space to let him stay in that car for however long he done it before we found out.
Right.
But it made me melt. So I say that to say this. Just because they're a certain age don't mean that they ever won't hit rock bottom again.
Right.
That's my 2.2.
Right, Miss Nitra, and thank you so much for having this topic. Thank you so much for having this conversation.
We back on our conversation.
Unless somebody else come up.
First thing I wanted to address is somebody was saying, give up your children. I want to say, I believe that is an option, right? However, when you realize that if you invest in the parent themselves, separating the child from the parent isn't always the best idea. But if you can keep that parent in a mental stable place, you actually can benefit the child. So whether that's a single mother or a single father, no matter who it is raising that child, if you invest into that, or a foster parent, because shout out to the foster people who was there for me when I went through what I went through. But if we invest into those people who are caring for children, you can get different results. As it relates specifically to this story, I do believe that there's something in every individual, every human, that will make them push to see something. But sometimes many of us miss it. And sometimes many of us many of us have to fight to break those mental chains. So Miss Lynn, thank you. So those mental chains that have to be broken. When you're in a grocery store and your child is acting out, there's a guilt, a shame, of embarrassment. Oh, I'm here by myself. Even if you're married, because I've dealt with married mothers and married fathers, there's this guilt of I'm embarrassed. I'm with these children are trying to break these chains, and oftentimes it's hard to break those chains because you start feeling like it's something I did. But what I think is very important is teaching those individuals who have the children how to strengthen and find their own peace. So it's like, just because you find an area in your life where you're weak at doesn't mean everything you've done is wrong. It means you've gotten to as strong as you can get. And going forward, now you recognize and you identify there's a space here that can be better. That she probably didn't. When just from the image itself, you're not alone. There's a lot of parents living check to check. There's a lot of parents that don't know what to do with their children. And there's this movie called Burnham or something like that, where the child simply implements or emulates or imitates the parents that are around them. The parent screams, the child screams. The parent is happy, the child is happy. You gotta watch that and see that these kids are picking up what we do. But if you don't know, you will give your child bad habits. And the thing is, it's okay because you didn't know. But what's next? And something else that I feel like I heard somebody else say is like I said, they said sing your parent, your child is somebody you love or somebody you care. Who is it? Because a lot of us, especially on TikTok, are considered the black sheep. So who do we trust? Who do we trust? Do we trust our TikTok friends? Do we trust this system? Who do we trust? So I feel like if you don't have any space to trust, then you create the very thing that you identify where you can help strengthen that area. I am a fortunate parent who did send my child to the system. This was not hard, but when I did try to fight to get him back, it was a horrible challenge. But my son straight up said, I do not want to live with my mother. He straight said that at 15, and everybody supported him. And guess what? I supported him equally. Well, son, because what I recognize is there's an issue here that I don't even know how to fix. How do we fix this? And now my son is actually 18. I have a great relationship with all of my sons, but it did take a part of me that I didn't even know existed break down and fall apart and recognize I need a help that I don't even know how to get. And it was not easy. I'm talking about every day I would think about a tornado eating him up or his foster parents doing this and that. another group of us that don't know better. And my thing is, for those of us that do know better, we stand in the gap for those that don't know better.
I agree. No, I completely agree with it. And like I said, it's we're always so quick and loud to judge, but are we teaching? Are we educating? Helping somebody doesn't always mean having to open your door and give money and, oh, those aren't my kids. You had them, you deal with them. That's not always what help means. Help sometimes is sitting down, figuring out their situation and educating them. Because we all got all these opinions on what we should have done, we could have done, what we would have done if we were in that situation. This is what I would have done, and you're wrong to do this, and you're wrong to do that. But is anybody sitting down when they're seeing their friend struggle, or they're seeing somebody? I mean, I've had somebody come up on the street to me before and ask me for food because his car had, I guess, run out of gas or stopped or whatever. And normally, we all know that we may think, oh, that person's just trying to scam me or something like that. No, he was serious, and he only asked for food for his child. I mean, not everybody is trying to harm their children or not knowing what the next step is. Some people just need the knowledge. You don't have to always open your pocketbook, but at the same time, and the amount of energy that you're taking to sit back and judge everybody on what they should have done and could have done, are you ever educating people on, hey, I see you got a problem with this. These are the resources in our area. Or, hey, this is what you can do instead. Or, hey, I've been there before and this is what helped me. I mean, even if that person doesn't take that, if you're going to spend the time to sit back and judge everybody, make sure you're taking that same amount of time to sit back and try to uplift somebody or educate somebody or show them, because you're not, any one of us can be in this situation. All it takes is a health issue. You could be married. I mean, they've had married people leave their kids in the car in the summertime and unalive. Do we give them that same aggression? Well, you should have asked your husband for more help, or you should have done this. But since she's a single mom, they're like, oh, we should just give your kids to the system. Okay, so the next time a mother leaves a married woman leaves her kid in the car in the summertime, and the kid passed, too bad. You should have given
Yeah, well, it is in the heat. It's a different topic. It's a different topic when it's in the heat. But in this circumstance, if I can support the mother in this one, she was in a car with her children. She's sleeping next to her kids and they're passing away. Exactly. It's not the same as, because to me, hear me out. If you get your ass out of a hot car, surely you got to remember your kids in the car. That's just how I be thinking. Right. I be like, come on, ain't no. You mean to tell me you got your ass out the hot car, but you left your kids there? This mother was next to her kids in the same image of death as they were in, because she was the same amount of cold.
Exactly.
Could I tap in? And then I'll
and then the exception. Okay. Y'all join us in the box that we are when Shell gets off work. In about 30 minutes, we're going to take this topic over to YouTube. I have a couple of more hours to stream on YouTube to where I reach my goal. So after this, we will be shutting this down, going to YouTube, and then coming back over here. But go ahead, Van.
So since and this is what I've done and been doing when I do get back home, I always try to go and fight for the people that are functional. There are functional homeless, which they live in their cars, but they do work. I fight for the homeless with no house. I fight for the homeless that's functional, living with a job, RV, and they're elderly or have children. And I also fight for kinder care and I used to be in the foster care and group home. I fight for those people in general because it's a mental thing.
And is that in Detroit?
No, this is in California. Okay. This is in California. And my thing is what I petition. And I have petitioned the mayor. I have petitioned the governor. And the reason being is because it doesn't, and I petitioned them, and I was on a YouTube channel, and I petitioned them to come out and sleep for at least 3 days in a tent, in a car, or in their, on the street, because then you can understand what the homeless functional, not functional, living in a tent or not, what they really need. They give vouchers for YMCA for at least 2 days, and they give it to them 2 days. How would you like to go take a shower, and a woman is on her monthly and she only gets a shower twice a week?
Can
That
I
is crazy.
Come on,
No,
talk to her.
I'm not
That's
saying
true. Come
that.
on, talk to her.
I'm saying this is what I fight for. And that's why I'm saying people need to go
Got 'em the
and
same color, sis.
petition their state, their cities, their governors, their legislators. They need to petition the majority rules that if a person has children or even not have children, to be able to get help without getting their children taken away from them. And it should be immediately. In the state of California, they started having shelters for mom and child. And you get one room, you get a kitchen, a little kitchen nook, and a restroom. And it's a 2-year program. But then the waiting list is 2 to 3 years. That is crazy. However, they're starting to do like hotels, converting them. So the children, so those are the laws that they had passed in my state, is to help the child and the mother. And sometimes you get people that it's, get shuffled around and not. But the thing is, it shouldn't be that a person asks for help. That they most fear is that they're going to lose their children. And that's what I'm trying to fight for, is that they don't. Because I was homeless at one particular point in time when my children, and I mean, and they have kinder care, which is your until you get on your feet. But they do make you go through loops, tricks, and kicks to get your children back. And that mental situation, they really don't too much care about that. They just want to make sure you get a home and you get a job. But what is the mental aspect from it? And then you look at the children that do go to the foster care or go to a holding, which is group homes. It's that, they could have did this, they could have did that. You don't want to go to a shelter. Shelters are crazy. It's a lot of things that happen in shelter for children and even for people. And then you don't want to also go into the other type of shelters that they have. And then when you go get help, they look at you sideways. They look at you and you go be fitting for you or not. And if not, they have claws. And then it makes it 2 to 3 times worse. That's all I'm saying. You guys can go to your council, y'all can go to your city hall, y'all can petition, and y'all can try to make things a little bit better, because that's where it stems from and that's where it starts from. And because a person can't or not able to do, they should be able to get help without getting their children taken away.
Y'all, everybody got an opinion. Van, why you dropping, girl? Y'all come on back up here. Go ahead, please.
Hey, everybody. I was sitting in the comments and I was listening because, just to hear this story, it sunk my heart. And what more so sunk my heart is not even the situation, because yes, it's bad, but to see that there are so many insensitive that are in bad situations to hop up on the panel and judge unrighteously This young lady and her situation, we don't know how long, all we know is that they may have been single 3 months, but you don't know within that 3 months if they had a plan in place that they were working towards and just hadn't completely gotten through that plan to get back on their feet. We don't know. So for us to say, well, you look like you've been, they look like they'd probably been in this situation before. You don't know that. A homeless person gonna look homeless in the capacity to sit on a panel while we sit in a bad situation our own selves. No, you might not have asked for help monetary wise, but you asked for help for resources. And even so, you still had the nerve to fix your mouth and judge. It's not fair. And then when that same judgment came back to you and someone asked you, but your kids didn't help you, you sat there and was like, oh, well, that's not fair. No. How dare we put our mouth on these people? It's not fair. We don't know what those people were going through. We don't know what type. And then for the grandmother, the young lady's mom to also be sitting in that situation, it breaks my heart because again, there are times, everybody, it's 78% of Americans that are living check to check, which means you look to your left and you look to your right. Two of y'all, you lose one check and let's see how fast that be you sitting in your car. That's heartbreaking to me. Especially when, and then if you read scripture, it's so amazing that God put that on my heart this morning. I hate to be biblical, but it's crazy that I read these scriptures this morning where it spoke about, how dare we say, we talk about the dagger that's in another man's eye when we have one in ours. How dare we? Jesus said this to his disciples. Look it up. But you have to do your research on it. I don't mean to get up here and preach, but God, that hit me so hard. Because again, I think about even myself. And yes, I have a support system.
Hey, cousin.
But not everybody got that support system. But for her support system to be in the same situation that she is in, again, we don't know. Because let's say the mama had the apartment. Because again, you even said it yourself, Miss Silent, that they had an address to get food stamps. Granted, even the homeless can get food stamps. But let's say they did have an address. That means that they probably just all of their needs were met. The only difference is they just didn't have housing. So that means that this situation was recent to them. Let's say that the grandmother, they was living with the grandmother before this situation, and the grandmother just so happened to have gotten laid off. Again, we don't know.
Talk.
So how dare we have the nerve to fix our mouth to be this insensitive?
Yeah.
All I'm saying is think about others. Yes, none of us know what we would do until we put in situations. Some of us have always said, well, no, I ain't gonna lay on my back. But then when you got put on that situation and you had to lay on your back to get a couple of dollars, you did it.
Oh, say that again.
You just don't know. You don't know.
They're always so ready to say what they won't do.
Whoa, I'm ready.
Do it. But again, to me, this seems like a systematic issue, right? We're looking at.
Excuse me, I'm pouring the last of this bomb.
Clank, 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 clank.
Clank, clank.
This is a systematic issue, right? The very thing that she was supposed to be able to depend on, they were not there. When you are homeless, who is the first person you run to? Your mama. But her village was broken. Her mama wasn't there. She couldn't even go to those children's father. She couldn't even go to those children's other grandmother. So to have people get up here and judge this woman, and when I watched her interview on yesterday, she says that she wants to just lay down and so she's trying to figure out how she's going to go on without the other two children while being there for the two that are alive. Other two were unalive. She still hasn't seen her children who are still surviving. So what happens when your village is broken? What happens when your village is nomads, are gypsies? What do? She exhausted all of her resources and she did what it is that
I think so too.
She could do. And that's how I feel about it. And I'm gonna stand on that. And I'm still going to say that I believe that the school system, the school district it comes to play in this. People say that teachers got 30 kids in their class.
You sound a little muffled, sis.
Oh, okay. People say that,
teachers got all these kids. Every child, we know about every kid that's in our classroom. The informed, trauma-informed teacher has her eye and has her ear to every child in that classroom. So you cannot tell me that the kids, well, not the kids, but you can't tell me that the teachers and the students did not know. There's a homeless list that comes out, right? That's somehow how we are able to get our funding for them as well. They let us know who's homeless. They let us know who's on food stamps and who gets free and reduced lunch. We know this. And so for those of you guys who are saying that they didn't look homeless, and that's why teachers may have missed that, I cry bullshit with that. Because the informed, trauma-informed school community, they're going to know. They're going to know. Because we do. Because we're paid to have a trained eye to see that. And so when teachers develop these relationships with parents and with students, it'll come out in a conversation. Do you know how many times parents tell me their business? Because they felt like they could pour their heart out to me. So you can't tell me that nobody school. You can't tell me that the school didn't know. You can't tell me that.
That's why that's one of the places that the kids, I don't know about y'all, but if you ever had a loved one be investigated by CPS, one of the main places they go to talk to the kid is the school. And it's not that it's the availability of the school, because they can come to your house and talk to your kids. They go to the school because they go and ask how the teachers see those children coming to school, how they dress, how they look. Are they late to school? Do they have lunch money? Who bring them to school? So yeah, the school plays a big part, and the school knows what happens with our children. Our kids spend just
but it is fair to say the school could have missed it.
It is fair to say it, because let me tell you why, Angelina. Because the mother's own words said they had everything, but they didn't. They did not have shelter. And that's the main part of stability and consistency and good grades and all that. Having no shelter played a big part in education and everything in her life. Like, so her, and this is being a young mother, she thinks because she's a provider, hear me out, she provides to her the necessities for them to survive every day. They getting a meal. She got some clothes for them to put on. They can ride around in a warm van for the time being. Grandma is there. If you got grandma there, you got a bunch. But the main thing that was missing was when it was time for bed. You to have a comfortable place to stay with you and your mom. So fair to say, this is a tough subject.
It's the hierarchy of needs. But some children, and as many of us have been children, I think we are the generation of forget what you think it looks like. Let's state the truth. Let your yays be yays and your nays be nays, right?
Right.
It's no longer let me guess what's happening. We got to teach children to speak up, because no one knew what I was going through when I went to school.
You know why? Because parents is business. And I'm not going to lie, I was that parent.
That's true.
We don't let our children go against us, against the grain, because at the end of the day, they're not out to help us. They're only out to take from us. So as Black parents, we make sure our children know you don't never go against what mama and daddy say. And I don't care what nobody say. I was guilty to do that, but I know the system ain't going to take better care. Like everybody keeps saying, well, why didn't she call CPS? To do what? To do what? Let's talk about the judicial system and what they have to offer us. They'd rather, girl, we could talk about it all day. I don't want to beat them up because there might be some workers in here, but y'all really don't give us help. So y'all really don't give us help. The help that we need to make it.
So let's do better. For those of us, I feel like for those of us that hear the calling, because we can criticize everybody. There's no improper way to analyze something that we know is supposed to be a certain way. If a pepperoni pizza has a pepper on it or a sausage on it, we know it's no longer a pepperoni pizza. If we're talking about identifying children that are in need, let's get some straightforwardness. You're gonna miss some. That grandmother, when I saw that video, she looked younger than the mother, to be honest with you.
But she might have looked younger. But what I saw with her hair and everything is stress and weary. She might have looked younger because I'm fixing to be 50. I don't give a damn what nobody said. They can call me older, elder, whatever. But at 50, I look good, especially with what I've been through. But that grandmother looks stressed. And it ain't because either that stress on her is Warren's stress. They were struggling. They were struggling. Because if they put me on a video right now, if something was to happen, God forbid, I'm going to still have the same damn hair. Something about my demeanor going to still look like Miss Nietzsche going through, but I'm not going to look like strangled. They've been struggling. They have really been struggling. Now, that's my 2.2. I didn't see that. And Lord forbid, God, girl, don't you been on winning that casino and spend no money? But I didn't see casino type people. I really believe this little girl's story. I think they were struggling. I think she tried the best that she could try at 20 something years old. Also, with a mother with no stability.
I agree. Because, one thing about life is going to give us all the different hands. And so we're going to play that hand the best way we can. And I honestly believe that that's what she did. She played her hand. Her hand ain't going to look like my hand. We all dealt something different.
I didn't say she looked like a casino person. I didn't say she looked like a casino person. I said don't bend that went in the casino and they can prove. Because I'm a casino person. I never identified what a casino person looked like. Y'all, please don't twist my words. I never said she looked like a casino person. I said, girl, please don't bend and went in the casino.
Right.
And they can prove that you went in that casino while your children sat out in a van and froze to death.
And I thought the exact same thing that's why I read the story. I listened to it. I listened to what they were saying. You know what I mean? Because I was like, please don't let it be, again, like the parents that, oh, I went to work and forgot my kids in the back seat. I was like, please don't do something like that. But as far as I know, had her on in the casino playing, So right now, that's all we have to go on. No one ever mentioned her being in the casinos.
No, I said the grandmother looked stressed.
Yeah, because we were talking about the grandmother.
I was talking about the worry. I'm not talking about no gambling, no guilty look. I didn't see, when I say I didn't see guilt, her words seem sincere to me.
I agree.
So if you ever look at somebody that's guilty of something, their body language can tell they're guilty.
Mm-hmm.
You can get pulled over by a police and you got some breakfast in the car. Or something. You can tell on your damn self how you move it in the car, scratching the shit. Where your license at?
Where you headed?
You can tell on yourself. I knew how to fake what was going on in my house at a young age. I knew how to fake it. I didn't care what was going on in my house. No one was gonna know.
Right.
The only thing that made me speak up is because my sister spoke up, and I knew I didn't want her to look like a liar to the team, to the family. Because 11, 12, when my sister spoke up about what was happening to us, I thought it was unfair for me to let her go down by herself. But none of my teachers knew what I was going through. None of them. I came in, I actually got scholarships. I graduated when I was in the 11th grade. No one knew. But as it relates to that grandmother, she looked young. I don't know if I saw stress, but you are a little older than I am. So you may be able to see things that I have yet to cross the line to see. But I do feel like, you can hide things. people can hide things very well. People can hide things very well, and children are very intelligent. So for the teachers, I feel like it's important to teach the teachers and the parents to identify these stressors. I had to teach myself to break chains. I had to teach myself to tell my children I love them. I literally started practicing when my oldest son was 12. I started saying, I love you. They were so happy to see me. And sometimes I was exhausted. Like they met me at the door every day. God damn. Like Jesus. But I pushed through because I felt in my inner self that I owed them this. And that's why I say everybody doesn't feel the same way. But I always thought every human had this hunger, this drive. So sometimes it is hard to hear stories like this and not just beat up the present parent versus just beat up the father who's not there. You know, sometimes we want to grab that mother and say, do what you need to do, girl.
Blaming just the father either. I'm just saying that the father did have a part in it. As far as if I don't know. I wouldn't let anybody's kid. If I heard somebody's kids sleeping in the car, I'm sorry. Maybe other people say, "Hey, it's not my problem," but I'm not gonna.
I wouldn't let
I couldn't walk away. I couldn't walk away. Yeah.
I wouldn't let
you know, on the adult part, you can say, hey, y'all take care of yourself, but here's the kid, you know, let me take care of the kid part. If you, because this is what I always think, you may not be in that position now. Hopefully you never go through something like this. But I always think of what you put out is what you receive back. What if one of your family members are out there? What if one day your children are out there? What if something is happening and you're hoping that someone does the same thing? You're dumb, you're stupid, you should have done better. You know, I would have done this, I would have never let this happen to me. If you want to walk around like that, that's fine. But one day, I just want you to have that same energy when someone does the same thing back, because it will happen. And you'll be at your lowest, and you'll be broken, and you'll be distraught, and you'll be confused, and then you'll ask for one help, and guess what somebody's gonna say? You're not my problem. I don't care what happens.
I asked for so much help.
Your best.
Miss Nietzsche, I asked for so much help, but it really took for me to recognize that the help that I'm asking for, these people don't even know how to give it. So I actually taught other young men.
Okay, Janae.
I had to show my sons, like I would leave a Snicker bar on the counter and say, you can only eat half. I don't even eat Snickers. But this is how I had to start teaching my children. But I don't want to see nobody living in a car. But no, you can't live with me, because I have tried to help people from abusive relationships. And what I recognize is I'm so hard, it's not fair to them to live with me, because it's not fair. I'm not
now
doing
that I agree to. I'm not saying go around and do something that's out of your comfort zone. What I'm saying is that people always assume that help is, oh, let me pay all your bills this month in there for somebody. Have y'all ever understood that sometimes help is just letting somebody cry to you, letting somebody tell you their problems, letting somebody be mentally, sometimes it's just listening. We always jump to the financial, but it's not always financial.
One year, while during my teaching career, we had this family and they were living in their car, and there were 7 children. 2 of them were not school age, the other 5 were, along with myself. And I know we could have gone to jail for doing this. 4 other teachers and myself took custody of each one of those children. I took one of the children home, and my colleagues took the other 4. And all of them have graduated from college, and they're doing quite well. I was on the line for our children, right? But when I just knew that they were, just the thought of them living in a car that didn't move, by the way, let me say that, it wasn't a car that even moved. We all took them home with us. She became one of my children. I dressed her, I bought her uniforms, fixed her lunch, brought her to school for that same family.
Thank
so
you.
I'm telling you, these teachers, we put our jobs on the line for these children.
Right.
We really do.
Beautiful.
But at that time when we were doing that, the thought didn't cross my mind that, girl, you can get fired.
Why would y'all get fired?
I'm sure that
because we're not
because you can't
supposed
take no
to
kids home. You
We're
can't
not
take them. You
supposed
can't put them in your car. You can't take them home with you.
You can't give them no food.
You can't give them food.
Buy them no food. You
Can't do
can't
that.
buy them clothes. You can't do.
Cannot
any of
do
that,
that. And I
you
broke
put
every
your
last
job on the
one
line.
of those
But thank you for that, because that's what I'm talking
every
about.
last one of those rules. You think I'm riding in my car and it's the blizzard outside in Chicago, right? And they should have canceled school. And I'm watching my children trudge through snow on the bus stop. You think I didn't put them in my car to take them degree weather? You do it without thinking. You do
And
it.
I'm gonna tell you, the teachers
Thank
do
you for
people.
your services.
Thank you. I agree. Thank you so much, because the school system has just as much a relevance in a child's upbringing that the parents do too. So it's so important. I still remember my teacher from the 6th grade. She had such an impact to me. She would get me to talk when I wouldn't talk to the other ones as far as opening up, right? I always ran my mouth too much. I was always getting in trouble, but she was never judgmental, and she got to another side of me that I did not let anybody else in on. So teachers like you and Miss L. Williams, I still remember her to this day. It has such an impact on a child's life. You can literally change the course of their life just by your
So is it
impact.
fair
So I
to
thank
ask,
you for that.
why won't you guys create your own school and set your own rules?
Okay, so that's a whole nother conversation, honey,
That
because
part right there.
when you're dealing against the machine, I created the first and only STREAM and STEAM middle school for Black and brown adolescent girls here in the state of Illinois. But you know who I lost to when they were giving out the charter for that? I lost to Common. No dig to him, was on the school board. So his school, Arts in Motion, won against my school, Destiny Stream Academy for Girls. We didn't get the funding that we needed for our adolescent girls.
Okay.
Currently, there are no all-girl school options that are free here in the state of Illinois.
In Florida,
None.
there are girls' schools, but in addition, I feel like a lot of times our boundaries, and my apologies if I shift the subject. I don't mind being redirected. But my thing is, the sky is the limit, right? Right now, you're speaking to people who agree with you, not people who oppose to you. So even setting a vision, having a Zoom and saying, hey, this is what I'm trying to do, and presenting a effective and efficient vision plan, we can invest in that. Because what I've observed is even the programs I signed my sons up to, the mentors would lie and say, I'm on the way. Oh,
But
my
here
apologies.
in
This happened.
Chicago,
This
that's not
happened.
true.
That happened.
Here in Chicago,
So listen,
that's not
so
true.
we
There's
so
everything
together
for boys,
so
nothing for girls.
So I'm saying use what we do have. I'm a big believer in using what we do have. You got Miss Nietzsche right here who is saying, I would have helped this mother. You got the exception saying, I would have helped this mother. So present the vision to the investors who will invest and create this. But not only that, SBA has so many programs for so many people. You can write them a vision plan or a business plan that's only for $5,000. They will still reward that because they want, for let's say she came to Miss Nietzsche and her platform, a lot of us would have been skeptical, right? Let's be honest about this whole situation. A lot of us would have been skeptical. Oh, are you doing this? Have you done that? And that's fair.
What all have you done?
Well, I'm not going to say that. We would not probably have been skeptical maybe 6 months ago, right? Because of the things that has happened.
Right.
You know, FOE, we're free givers. We would question, but we would have helped her. I know Miss Nietzsche would have helped her. I know FOE would have
So
rallied.
why?
But
So
we
family,
burned.
Coach, instead of us waiting for someone to ask for that, there's something called ask instead of already having that funding exist. So when people
that's why we
ask,
stopped our funding.
Yeah,
that's why we stopped our funding. If anybody has heard us over here, we have asked people to stop asking us for money because we have given on demand. Like we can have a live right here and somebody come up here and need $1,200. We stop the live and we get $1,200. So because that's not going to help with tax purposes and putting it in the right perspective play, we stopped. We're not giving out any more money until April because we do want to have money.
and that's fair. That's fair if the investors are only your people, but we're capable, and all of us are capable of writing a vision plan. Ms. Mitra, and I apologize. Please forgive me if I overstep boundaries.
You're good.
Okay, I started off on the Diamond Show. I'll be saying, Ms. Mitra, it's Diamond time. I always say that we go over that. But I appreciate
I've been seeing you in the comments talking about it's Diamond time. I told you the other day, she woke me up here.
So are you talking about basic?
But you know what, Angelina? I love your transparency. It never offends me. Never.
Me too.
Never.
Me too.
Could I chime in to ask Miss Angelina? Are you talking about doing a block grant or doing an operational grant to be able to fund, to be able to do this, to help? Is that what you're saying?
I don't know the name, but what I'm saying is there are people that need help, and there's a group of us who want to give it. And let's find whatever it is that exists.
Like the money had just been funded February the 12th. They have another one that's coming out in June. So it's enough time to get the 5-year financial trajectory plan. It's a business plan. And if you have a 501(c)(3) nonprofit or even an incorporation, or you can do a LLC profitable, but it would be more beneficial to do a nonprofit because the money is unlimitless. And that means if you're doing the red tape is parents that are AFDC welfare reform, YA welfare reform, children that are just coming off the foster care program, and form. We haven't got to, that's what I used to do with the state of California.
My Coach Billups or Coach?
Sometimes I see a lot of disagreements, but I'm real big on working with people who agree with you. One of my favorite songs is "Stand With Me, Agree With Me." Like, let's agree. Let's find people who believe in what we believe in and work with them. Each of us, I believe in filling generational gaps. Each of us have something to offer the next generation. A lot of my skills don't get tapped into when it comes to
Agreed.
And I want to tap into those. So I'm saying, let's tap into what we do. And I'm talking about Zoom meetings. I'm not talking about just what we do on Instagram and TikTok. And
We do it. I'm telling y'all, hear me out.
I go on the
When I tell y'all, we have regular Zooms, we have paperwork, we have signatures, we have minutes documented at the bank. Like I'm used to being a business person. We document our minutes. Just because we don't advertise a lot of things, he has a management team. Like we're not just out here saying it, we're doing it. We're at the bank. Like the bank calls and said, "What were your minutes for?" We give our minutes. We do all of that. We have built a community of people. We've taken mental health courses and got certificates. Javon Billups, shout out to him. We have counseling. We have consulting coach right here, Coach Consulting. We have Wendy, finance directors. We have a lot of resources, but a lot of people just don't believe that it can happen because they have been shunned to being done wrong for so long. But the good Lord has blessed FOE with people. Miss J Culture, she just said something to me and it caught my attention. I'm a business person. I believe in putting things in the right perspective places and decent and in order. So when it comes back to bite you in the ass, you got paperwork. I believe in paperwork. I love trends. I love trails. I love for you to say, oh, and I document who I talk to on the phone. If I make a phone call to somebody, I'll be like, okay, what was your name? I document that. Right. So all I can tell y'all is FOE, we're about business. We are trying to build a whole foundation to help people, resources. And if anybody has the accolades to help us in building this community, that's what we're looking for. It is not easy, but I will say by the grace of God in 2024, we gave away thousands of dollars to people in need. And that was just the scratch off, not the cent. Do you hear me?
That's amazing.
It was just a scratch off. It was not the cent. Once the good Lord really blesses the aroma, we are going to be doing the things that God has instructed us to do. But first you had to find the people that was interested, because everybody that sits in FOE and say, I'm FOE, they're not interested in the call, but we are. So that's my 2.2. Let's keep going. Next call.
I just want to say this before I jump down, because I got to tie up some loose ends before I get off work. But thank you for allowing me to speak today. And I'm gonna be listening from the comments. But I just want to say thank you. Y'all keep going. We got this. That's right.
I'm waiting on you to text me.
Yes, ma'am. No, I sent you a message back.
Did you? Text me again.
I just need to know where to send it. Look, as long as I know where to send it, I got it in the mail tomorrow.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Okay. This is good to me, y'all. Purple.
Can I go now?
Yes, Felicia.
Hey, everybody.
Hi, Felicia.
Hey, I wanted to see there's
Felicia Bada.
Yeah, I sit on 4 different boards, but I just came up. I'm at work right now, but I wanted to give my input on the story that came out. Here I go with my numbers. So men and women that are married and get divorced, men have a harder time to get custody of the child. If a man, like, we're just going to say this man and this lady on the news, right? If he knew that she was struggling, or they broke up or whatever, and he filed for custody of the children to take them in with him, 90% of men that ask to have the children will get the children. The problem is men do not. Most men will not take the sole responsibility of housing the child. I know that a lot of people have, bad experiences with CPS, and I'm just going to talk about my own experience because I work with a lot of courts and the CPS workers trying to get the women, the mindset. I'm just going to give you an example. Time for her to get released, okay? And I'm saying to her, where are you going to go? I don't know. I got to go get my kids. And I said, okay, so where are you going to live? I'll figure that out. And I say, so is there anyone? So I'm associated with a program that tries to help her find family members that can try to help them or take them in, right? So financially across the board, some of the family members are barely making it on their own, so they cannot afford to take in another mouth. Then we get to see if the financial aspect can be brought in to help the parent or help the family member that's going to take over the kids. However, you can't just assume that in 90 days she go get her life together either, right? And that's with mental health or substance abuse or anything, right? So I have partnered with the courts and CPS, like, you know what? Normally it takes about 2 years, but in this time frame, she has to find a job, a place to live, get some therapy, get stable. 2 years is the benchmark. In 2 years, if she's still not okay, she should still be able to see these kids within this 2-year period of time to build a bond back with her kids, but also sustain a place for them to live. There are so many programs around the United States, but a lot of people, is it a lot of grunt work? It is. But that's why my program, or the house that I'm looking to open, is because sometimes the family members, you don't, when you go there with I've gone there with a couple of girls, and when you go there, I don't want them kids to stay there. Right? So what if there's not a safe environment? Can we create an environment, or even bridge the gap and talk to the father? Hey, she just needs some help here, because one person's bad experience with CPS, and I've had some bad ones. I've had some bad ones, and things are not right. But in the state of Hot Wheels Abbott, a lot of people don't know that, but they believe in reunification with mothers. A mother can do a lot of things in this state, and they go do their best to try to get that kid back with their mom. And there's a lot of states like that, but I don't think that the resources are available, or people don't have time to find the resources, because it takes a lot of time. And that's my 2.2.
This is good to me. Thank you, Miss Felicia.
It's good to me too, Miss Nitra.
It's good to me. Poetic, and then I thought somebody else came up, but maybe not. I thought I saw somebody.
And Miss Nisha, this is completely off topic, but that red is redding right now.
Thank you. It's really,
yes, ma'am.
Me and Coach got the same. It's really burnt orange.
Is it? Oh, I guess it's the lighting.
Yeah,
it's
me and Coach got the same color on. It's burnt orange, but I guess it's the lighting.
I don't know. It's okay.
Yeah,
it
looks red. It looks
It does. It looks red. Now that you say it, maybe I see a little bit of orange, but if you had told me it was red, I would have believed you.
Yeah, it's orange.
I think it's the hair with it too.
Probably so. Probably the hair.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah. I love it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I gotta go see my last video. They made me make a video today on TikTok.
On YouTube or TikTok?
On TikTok.
Okay.
Who is
Brian? TikTok. Do y'all think TikTok finna go down?
Oh, he left.
I don't know.
No. I'm not stressing. No, TikTok ain't stressing me no more.
Today I went to a certain place on TikTok, and it said this app does not support recharging.
Okay.
It told me this app does not support recharging.
You know,
So
you want to know what
we are working to resolve this issue, but as of right now, I could not recharge. Could not.
You know what I think they're gonna do? This is just my opinion on it. I don't think they're gonna take it away. I think they're gonna make a lot of changes to it. I think they're gonna take control and do certain things. And like you said, you ran into something that you weren't able to do, beforehand. I think they're gonna do a lot of changes, but I don't think it's going away for good. No, I just think that maybe some people will not like the changes that are gonna be brought to it.
I saw a Pizza Hut and a Tubi commercial that made me think the app was shut down each time. Did anybody else see that?
I don't know, but it's a lot of people. Like my cousin came over here today. He said he cannot get on TikTok. He said he cannot get on there. If you deleted the app,
he can't get on the lives.
Yeah, he can't get on no lives. He can't get up in the box or nothing.
Wait, he has
on
the
his
app.
laptop. Thank you perfectly.
Let
him know. Let him know.
He has the app and he can't do it, or he doesn't have the app.
He doesn't have the app anymore on his phone, but he went on his laptop. He said, I guess you have to go through so much on his tablet. And he got it on his tablet, but he said on his tablet, he can't do the things that he used to do when he had it on his phone.
But have you talked to anyone who had that same issue that still kept the app on there?
Say that again.
Did you talk to anyone who's had that same issue, but they kept the app on there?
Everybody I talked to, they said they deleted the app through.
Okay, so I got information on app rebuild up.
You just can't come up in the boxes.
Listen, cause Nisha, you know I told you Boyd had took one off his phone, right? So he had to go and find the other phone. So now he's searching. But Nika Love, I know a lady named Nika Love. She told him what to do.
Got phones for sale.
Boyd just put it back on his phone yesterday, and it worked. So it's able to get put back. You just got to go to a certain spot, but you can get it back, y'all. For all y'all that got your people out there that you know what I'm saying.
What kind of phone, bro?
He well, watch this. I got the information for the iPhone. I can shoot that to somebody. Because the girl at work did that, and then Nika told us last night Boyd actually has an Android, and he was able to put it back on his phone.
Okay. Well, in the meantime, if anybody needs a phone with it on there, we got them for sale.
Oh my
So scratch everything that she just said.
My bad. I don't know what the fuck I'm now. I can't help nobody.
When Curtis found out today that they were selling phones, I said, no, they selling phones for real. He said, what? I said, for thousands of dollars. Curtis said, shit, they can have this phone.
Yep.
Curtis said he got 4 phones for sale.
Yep.
But
and
they my bad. I don't know shit. Don't have me nothing. I don't know.
Girl, Curtis got 4 phones for sale. He said, and all of them got the TikTok app on it. I told him on Facebook, y'all, people are selling their kids' phones and everything.
Them kids
I'm not gonna lie. I just never believed them. I mean, I think they did a perfect, shut down, and everybody was like, and this didn't even last one day. They brought that mess right back. It's like I didn't even believe them. I didn't trust it. I was like, nah, y'all gonna bring it back. I don't know when, but I didn't believe them enough to delete it.
No, people are really selling those phones for 2,000 phones for $3,000 and $4,000. I'm like, damn.
On eBay. On them kids, I know those kids are mad.
Yeah, on eBay they'll pay like 15 reps.
Man, that's crazy.
It is. That's why I said I never believed them enough. I guess I just don't. I mean,
somebody making some money on TikTok.
They were. Yeah, that's why they're buying them. Yeah, that's why they're buying them to do it. But I just never believed them. And like I said, I was one of those that didn't even believe it until you actually couldn't log in. Like, when you got the screen, I really didn't even think they were going to go that far. But even when they did that, I was like, they're going to bring that back. They're going to bring it back.
If they deleted Lemonade, TikTok's finna go.
Yeah.
If they deleted Lemonade app, TikTok finna go because Lemonade and TikTok are the same apps. They owned by the same people. So they just came out, so they probably feel like, oh, it ain't been out that long. We can
so they took them back again? Because I know Lemonade was gone and CapCut, but I got my CapCut back.
That's a lot.
They left
Somebody trying to sell their iPhone for $20,000, Curtis said.
They're going on for 25.
25,000. Yeah, ain't no way. But it's a big time celebrities probably are buying it.
Yeah, Lemonade's not gone. I mean, it was gone that day. Yes, it was gone. It was gone.
Yeah, I thought they brought,
Lemonade was gone, but they're back.
I thought they brought Lemonade and CapCut back.
They did. Lemonade's back.
So it's back.
Nature, I wanted to say I enjoyed you today. The part that I heard that I was able to tune in on, I enjoyed y'all.
Oh, today was very nice. Like,
yeah, it really was. It was nice.
Today was a very heated topic. I didn't know we were gonna have that type of. I knew it was gonna be good, but I didn't know I was gonna have that type of feedback from it. So today's feedback was everything. If you were not tuned in, you can go watch it on YouTube, part 1 and part 2. Because I couldn't get my TikTok to stream where they could see it. So I shut it down. I guess I could have left it up because people were listening. But Shell went back and pulled it back up. So it was very interesting. It was a nice case. and I am going to bring it to Judge Trinsetta's courtroom. I want to wait until we see what the final results are of the mother, because they're doing an investigation. So I want to hear after the investigation, Detroit, so-and-so, so-and-so. I want to know if they're going to give her. And I'm really trying to get in touch with her, because if I can get her over here for an interview with FOE, I am really working on trying to get her to the platform. And we used to have those type of results where we would cover stories and we could get the people over here that we covered the story of. So I'm going to try that. I'm trying to find her. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm also going to start after the trial, I'm going to start a petition on what the allegations are and just see how far it goes. Because if we can help her, if FOE can really find her some resources, I'm down with it. I know she's lost 2 children, but some of the best therapies in life is knowing that you really have people in your corner. And I think FOE is the perfect family for her, because we're all strangers to one another and we all help each other. So that's just how crazy I am. I believe that kind of stuff. I'll hunt her down till I find her.
Blame me.
Yeah, I would like to help her. I would like to help her. I would. After the results. Because I just believe that she, because look, hear me out. Last night, I woke up today and Curtis said, God dang. I said, Good Yellow walked home last night for work. And everybody always hollers and screams about resources. My nephew walked home last night for almost 3 hours in below degree in Detroit. No ride. Uber could not take chances, or Lyft, or whichever one he called, could not take chances. So it left him with him having to get out the restaurant at a certain time where he worked his job, and he walked home freezing cold last night. So when people say all these resources are out there for you, my nephew walked home last night from work, but he had to get it like he lived. No bus would pick him up and no lift would lift him home because the snow was so deep. So we out here talking about, well, she could have went here and it's could have But why couldn't Good Yellow get help getting home last night from work? When I told Curtis this morning, he was like, I'd have called the police. And they don't really help you. And up here in Palestine, the police passed a pregnant woman on the side of the road with a flat tire. And the mama up here going viral because they passed her daughter up pregnant and didn't ask her if she needed help. So you can't really depend on the police either.
I gotta agree with you. I don't know if I would have called the police. They might have found a reason to take him somewhere else besides home. You never know.
But I saw police cars riding past me. They didn't stop.
That's what I'm saying. You never know.
My nephew walked home cold and then had to go back to work and don't know how he gonna get home tonight. Do you have a ride home tonight, nephew?
Cash App. And then a young lady from Miss J's Live sent me a Lyft gift card.
I remember that.
I
heard that.
Yeah. And I woke up and all of this stuff was like, I don't know, man. God is so good, man. Like, I'm so happy I got my ride schedule home already. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm happy. You know what I'm saying? I'm thankful. I really am. I ain't getting no sleep, but I'm still thankful. I am.
All right, period. You got to ride home tonight because we stayed at Miss J's all night long. I was going to sleep and waking up. When I woke up and he was walking home, I said, you walking home? So I'm listening. They think I be sleep half of the time, but I promise y'all I'll be tuned in listening.
So the little
bad last night. I mean,
yeah, he showed us the snow.
When I walked out
night,
there, it covered me immediately. Like,
yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was.
It was bad, but it was bad last night. He showed us it was deep. He was walking. And I promise you, he'd rather been in the
But we're
car
gonna get
last
you
night
some
than where he
Eskimo
was.
gear. We're gonna get you some snow gear. So if you do have to walk, you can be warm.
Yeah, good yellow. Yeah, you need to get you. You need to go on Amazon, nephew, and you need to get you some snow boots and some of those bibs. Get you a backpack and put that bib in there. Because being in Colorado with that bib on and them snow boots, I promise you, it helped.
And those overalls,
Somebody, Billy just sent you a cash app, good yellow. Text me and I'll tell you how much to request.
And
You
the
need to get you some bibs.
Look at God.
That
You
face
need to get
cover
you some
too.
bibs and some snow boots.
That face cover too, Miss Anisha. I don't know what it's
overalls.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's called, but that face cover, is that called a face cover? You know how you never notice how much your face is gonna get with the air and the coldness? You know what I'm talking about? I think you had it on in Colorado. Did you have something covering like your nose and your mouth?
Frankie G, you be saying anything off the wall. You remind me of a certain person. We're gonna block you. Don't come in this comment chat doing that, please. So you can sit here and be civilized, so you can go.
Oh, a ski
We don't
mask.
give a shit.
Yeah, ski mask or whatever that was, whatever covers. Sorry, I don't know the name of it, but whatever covers like your nose and mouth when you're walking in the cold,
Yeah.
like a face cover or something. Yeah. Because you never know that, and then you get home and your face is numb.
Right. And my hands and feet was like, oh my word.
He was cold last night. I know you were cold. That traffic was so bad.
I could not believe I made it home. I had forgot I made it home. I literally was like, dang, I'm at home. I don't even remember.
Just walking, trying to get
Just
there.
put your head down. Just put your head down. That's like how you do when it's too hot outside. Just put your head down, try to get to where you live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Candy Bomb. Happy
birthday, Candy.
Happy birthday,
Happy
Candy.
birthday, Candy. 67 years young.
Happy birthday, Candy Bomb.
Yes.
Oh, that's right. We supposed to have meetings. My bad.
Wow,
Miss Nitra, I
What is it?
appreciate
Just
you
feel it.
all having me on your live. This is my first time sitting through a whole live this long with you. I've known you for many years, but I never actually sat through. I want to appreciate everybody. But Miss Nitra, I mainly appreciate you because I know this has been an up and down journey for you, and I'm thankful for your consistency. I'm thankful for Black Diamond's consistency because I have followed her for years, and that's where my strength comes from, seeing her get up on days where